Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Bible in 1 Year with the Preacher's Husband. Today we're going through Proverbs chapter 16, 17, and 18. Tomorrow we're going to do Proverbs chapter 19, 20, and 21. So let's get started. Right off the bat, historically speaking, Proverbs chapter 16 was very important here in the United States because William McKinley placed his hand on Proverbs 16 as he took the presidential oath of office in 1901. Now, the first verse that stuck out to me was Proverbs 16 verse 2. In the New King James it says, "All the ways of a man are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirits." Here on the screen's a little different version, but it says similar to the same thing. The Lord looks internally, not what you think is right, but what he thinks is right, what your motives are. You may think you're doing the right thing, but if you're doing what other people perceive as the right thing for the wrong reasons, God knows that. The second verse was chapter 16, verse 7. "When a man's ways are pleasing to the Lord, he makes even his enemies to be at peace with him." So when you're doing the right thing, even your enemies will know, and they will even respect you. They may not ever like you, may always still be your enemies, but they'll still respect you, and they can be at peace with you. Chapter 17, verse 13 stuck out next. In the New King James, it says, "Whoever rewards evil for good, evil will not depart from his house." And in this version, if you repay good with evil, you will never get evil out of your house. Truth. 17:23. "A wicked man accepts a bribe behind his back to pervert the ways of justice." Does that ever happen? What about in politics? Does that ever happen in politics? Probably happens even more than just in politics. Probably happens more than we realize. But that is wicked. Chapter 17, verses 27 and 28. Verse 27 and 28 stuck out to me here. "He who has knowledge spares his words, and a man of understanding is of a calm spirit. Even a fool is counted wise when he holds his peace. When he shuts his lips, he is considered perceptive." So you're considered perceptive if you keep your mouth shut. Interesting. Very interesting. Chapter 18, verse 3. "When wickedness comes, so does contempt, and with dishonor comes disgrace." In the New King James Version, it says, "When the wicked comes, contempt comes also, and with dishonor comes reproach." Well, I got to thinking about honor, and I got to think about honorable people and taking oaths and things like that. Well, I got to thinking about the Minutemen, and I'm not talking about the Minutemen down on the border that we talk about today. I'm talking about the Minutemen of 1774. See, the Massachusetts Provincial Congress reorganized the Massachusetts militia in 1774. And when they did that, they assigned 1/4 of the entire militia to be made up of what is called Minutemen. Now, Minutemen were patriots who vowed to be ready to fight at a minute's notice. The Massachusetts Provincial Congress charged the Minutemen. In other words, they gave them a, I don't know, like an oath to go by. This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to promise to do. A promise. When you take a charge, you're making a promise, and it says, in that charge, it says, "You," and of course they'll state their name, "are placed by Providence in the post of honor, because it is the post of danger. The eyes not only of North America and the whole British Empire, but of all Europe are upon you. Let us be, therefore, altogether solicitous that no disorderly behavior, nothing unbecoming our characters as Americans, as citizens and Christians, be justly chargeable to us." In other words, be of good character. Don't do anything that would cause anyone to say anything negative about you in any way, shape, or form. I just found that fascinating. I loved it. I love history. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 17 stuck out to me as well. The first to present his case seems right, till another comes forward and questions him. You know, this right here has gotten me in trouble with some of my friends before, because a lot of times when a friend comes to you and tells you this story of how they feel like they've been wronged, I'll listen, and I will listen intently to them, but I don't always take 100% their word for it, because if I know the person that they feel they've been wronged by, a lot of times I'll at some point talk to that person and they tell me their side of the story. And then when they tell me their side of the story, then I get two different perspectives of the same event. At that point, I can be a little more wise. But in most cases, I'll keep my mouth shut and just listen to what both sides have to say. At that point, you can kind of tell who's being a little dramatic and who's maybe I don't know, just making it seem bigger than it is, or maybe somebody truly was wronged. Maybe they both were wrong. Maybe they both feel bad. But regardless, it's important to get both sides of the story, or 3 or 4 sides of the story, before you cast any judgment, if you ever cast a judgment at all when it comes to things like this. So just thoughts, things to think about. Chapter 18, verse 24. One who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. In the New King James Version, it says, a man who has friends must himself be friendly, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. There is. Who could that be? I know who it is for me. Who is that for you? I'll leave that one for you to ponder. And I hope to see you again tomorrow for another episode of the Bible in 1 Year with the Preacher's Husband. Hit that like button and that subscribe button, and of course click the little jingle bell so you can get notified the next time I upload a video. We'll see you then.